Welcome back, right? Let's play Nicktoons Unite for the DS, the fun version, as I like to call it, as you've probably noticed. We saw some interesting things going on, as you can see. Also discovered you can actually reset the camera without having to start attacking by pressing both triggers at the same time. Thusly. It's nice. You can also, oh, you can stabilize it like that. It's nice. Just mashing a lot of buttons. Anyways. So then, as you may or may not know, as you may or may not have been informed by me, because I don't quite recall at this point, we are heading off next to, that's a beautiful activation while jumping around, heading off to Bikini Bottom. Is that like New York, New York? Bullies! So, here's the neighborhood. It looks a little bit different from what I remember. Well, it's interesting to see how it looks different in all the different games. What is on the top right? Hey, stop it. So Trump seems to have this weird habit of getting stuck strafing without actually attacking. Oh, that's just a little... I can't remember what it's called. Thugfish. I've SpongeBob have his own home. I like how Thugfish is its own proper noun. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother asking why we have a spare key in Scribbner's place. And that's also locked. Will we try Patrick's Rock? Well, there's not much to do, actually. And before you guys get too curious, I'm not actually gonna spend a lot of time looking around here. There's nothing behind these buildings or anything like that. Nothing of note. The plainness of this place does remind me a little bit, and how closed off it is. Actually, the very shape of it reminds me a lot of, what is it called? There's just one random building in the background. Odd decision. Reminds me a bit of, what is it called? Original Flying Dutchman for the PS2 and GameCube. Yeah! Anyway, so we conveniently have a one-sided antenna on top of Patrick's place. That's nice. Okay, so we conveniently have this thing here. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, the camera likes to do that, apparently. But what's this? Oh no, as we try to approach the wall jump, there's a like about Patrick. So this probably will be in the second game if I had actually continued doing this last episode. Oh no! Big things are really strange places. Also, that took its time getting a Patrick, didn't it? Now, I'm not gonna bother asking what it is that Patrick is actually firing off right now. Oh man, right there in there. Because it splatters like ice cream, but also makes an electric sound, so I don't really know what to make of that. This is one of those things that would be a lot easier with an actual stylus than on a laptop trackpad. Just gonna have to spam click on this. It's only because this game's strangely merciful about this that I'm actually able to do this in really any capacity. Anyway, I'm always taking more tries on camera than I did before. You would think that having practice would make this easier, but evidently not. Well, I am in a more uncomfortable position in recording this, so it's a little bit more physically difficult to move the mouse where it needs to be. Come on. Come on! It's always at the very end there when he shoots out 3, too. Come on. Had it earlier. Boop. Oh. No! That one just takes its time to get a Patrick. It's oddly merciful. Yeah, some of these that go straight for Patrick, some are a lot more merciful than others. A lot more kind to you. Alright, I barely did that well. Was Plankton crying for a moment there? Jane did not look concerned. No, I will. So, as always, by the way, in case you're wondering, you cannot go up this way, unfortunately, because these kelp off the outside are slanted enough. They're not actually inserted a wall, which disappoints me a little bit, but oh well. Okay. Now we can actually do something. Somehow, I love the shape of the trajectory that this rock takes. It's not the most sensible. So unfortunately, you can't do any flame wall jump business with this because of, well, how it's shaped, basically. But you can do this. And I've toyed with it a little bit. And you can get some interesting results sometimes. It's kind of difficult though, fortunately. Because you tend to overshoot it. Because the way the, because the way it's shaped. And what happened there was, what's happening is, I'm on a really slanted surface, so the game doesn't let me jump. The game basically thinks I'm not supposed to be standing there, which I'm not. So the game doesn't let me jump or anything, and it tries to force me off the slope. Which it actually tries to do on Patrick's house even when you're not doing strange things. Don't propel yourself into that little hole. Patrick's evidently done some redecorating that we were unaware of as well, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, it's really hard to overpower that, unfortunately. It's possible. Wrong one. I mean, what kind of playthrough would this be if I didn't show the fun exploit things we can do, though? And see, you just kind of constantly slide. Now, Dan would actually not be the best guy for this. So, height. Turns out there are actually no things to stand on there, unfortunately. So there's nothing to make of that. Okay, so SpongeBob Ho. So we've lost all the fun things in here. The phonograph, the, well, everything, the couch. But we have a passageway. What does one make of this? Turns out Patrick's been doing some redecorating. Also, there's no way out. And Jamie may be a guy for this. He's also been hoarding Krabby Patties, as you can see. For his 3 AM snacks. I could only imagine. And yes, in case you're wondering, you can just kind of Iron Man it through at the end here. Well, through all of this, actually. Just running across the lava. But yes, Patrick's evidently made some investments in, I'm not quite sure if I call this home security or what. At least it has some safety nets. He's very thoughtful about it. Get over here. And floating wood technology, too. But, and giant doors. Very large doors. He's been getting pretty fancy with the sand architecture, as you can see. Get some health if you so desire. I do not desire such things. I don't really know what you're supposed to do with this part, actually. I have never actually managed to get across this part without going to lava at some point. SpongeBob, if you could do your jump animation, thank you. Because it takes so long for this to activate for that to help you much at all, in any capacity. But it seems like it's too much for... It's maybe not too much for Jimmy's jetpack. It still didn't help me anyways, but... There we go. Doesn't need to. I know. I also have to say, I do like what Patrick has done with the place. It's very creative and spared no expense. So something I kind of forgot to mention, well, actually, more that I just didn't know about Denny's ghost ability is actually that it is not the only only ability in the game, well, spare Timmy's, that does not provide any platforming benefit. Danny's ability actually allows you to just straight up float for some distances. Horizontally, for that matter. Okay. Aha! I'm gonna wait a minute for that to respawn. Actually, what I'm gonna do is that. It's be more time efficient. And again, I'm gonna do that weird jump thing that's really hard to do. I wish you guys could see the contortions I had to make my fingers make that happen. So this is one of those things I never really understood in games, where you press a button to activate something that's ahead of you instead of behind you. Also, big up. But, what's the point? When the button you're pressing is only going to have an effect on the future, and it's in plain sight, it's not like a challenge to find or anything like that. Why have a button at all? You're not really going to know what you're missed necessarily if you don't get it. But it's so obvious that you don't really have a way to miss it. I don't know, I'm just waiting for this to catch up. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to stay on the platforms and go along with it as it passes by these, and they stop intermittently, which is really annoying actually. But it's just a lot easier not to do that. It's a lot easier to just kind of wait. Or not, well yeah, wait I suppose, but just go ahead and then wait. There you go. You cannot fall here because that would mean you really have nothing more to do. I'm not sure you can, I don't think you can get back up at the beginning either if you fall. By the way, there's no entry door for this room. It's just, I mean, I wish they didn't to show it. Like, you know what? How about this? Because I want to show it. It's your fault, Jimmy. It's just kinda, yeah. There's a door. It's just a very subtle door. Patrick has invested in some very interesting technology. Anyhow. Oh yeah, I forgot. And Patrick also turns out to have made a shortcut, very expensive shortcut from his house to the Krusty Krab bathroom. Yeah. It was, pretty, well, he puts in a lot of effort for those Krabby Patties at 3 AM, I guess. Okay, now. Oh yeah, these guys. The pet. I didn't really understand why these guys shot lasers in the GBA version. I don't understand why they shot lasers in this version either. Also, they stole a cash register! Mr. Krab is not going to be happy. Go away. Those things, there's really nothing to do about their range attacks either, which is the most annoying part. You'll see some more annoying instances of those enemies later on, too. There's no condiment island. They took the condiments. Also, you notice the key icon just kind of appeared in the corner just now. It's because there's a key right here. Also, they closed the, port to the kitchen for some reason. They also completely erased Mr. Krab's office from existence. And look, they're kind enough to actually change out the doors for us. Oh yeah, you can also see into the void, which is nice. Skyboxes don't really need to be cohesive. Away we go. You know, I'm just now thinking, it was a very strange coincidence that the key to Squidward's house was there.